there are certain things in life which one has to accept and take as it is. And business environment, working environment, regulations are one such things. When you especially talk of the startup ventures, you cannot straight away think of changing the working environment or changing the regulations. As I say this, I straight away draw parallel to the sector where I come from and which I often represent at various levels, which is the non-banking financial companies. All of us sitting in the hall would be aware what this sector had the image in the pre-97 era. It was a sector perhaps which was the most looked down upon, in spite of all the good work which have been done by some of the NBFCs who've been in business for more than 6 decades now. But what all happened in 97 and thereafter changed the situation. And when we talk of one of the key subjects today is value addition or creating values. Imagine from a situation of a look down upon sector. Today in the year 2013, I'm proud to say that the very regulator RBI's working group report comments that there are a large number of small NBFCs spread across the country who have been complying to the norms, have been doing their assigned task of catering to the unbanked segments of the society. They do not pose any substantial risk to the system, and hence, this is most important, and hence, RBI proposes to move them out of regulation. Today, the regulator proposes, and if that, it's still in a proposal stage, if that is accepted, we will have a scenario where more than 70% in terms of numbers, the NBFCs will move out of the regulatory scenario framework of RBI. This is the kind of confidence which the sector has gained over the years. So the point is that accepting regulations, but yes, that does not mean that you become, accept all. Often people compare to what value addition NBFCs provide as vis-a-vis banks. Banks are always we treat them as our elder brothers who provide all kinds of retail loan products. But it is for all of us to see, especially when you see products like used commercial vehicle financing, used vehicle financing, reconditioned vehicle financing, gold loans, three-wheeler loans, two-wheeler loans, small ticket personal loans, financing for tires, financing for fuel. These are some of the products which are absolute clear innovations shown by the NBFC sector. And in fact, the banking sector has taken a leaf out of our book and started following these products also. So this is a typical case of innovation driven out of need and necessity, and which has led to the growth of the sector. You talk of the customers, yes, if you talk of the customers like you and me who have a bank balance, who have a bank statement, who have a ITR, who have a PAN card, who have an Aadhaar card, no dearth of credit. So the NBFCs cater to the quote-unquote unbanked segments. Majority of the customers, we have vehicle financers. Majority of the customers are owner-driven vehicles. The driver themselves own these vehicles. So it is that kind of segment which the sector has catered to. If we talk of the business model, here is a typical example where the big brothers have come and tied up with the small brothers. It is perhaps a very unique case again in the financial sector where we've seen large NBFCs engaging small NBFCs and small private financiers as their business associates. There are various models in the market. We have companies giving franchises. We have companies adopting business associates. Let me sound a warning note here. The so-called business associates or franchisee model is nowhere common to what you see the common DSAs or the DMAs which banks follow. That is an altogether different model. There's just purely commission-based, and in this model, it is a risk-sharing, profit and loss-sharing model. You talk of fundraising, again, we've seen innovation in terms of the bilateral deals. We have n number of examples where banks have bought up the portfolios created by NBFCs. So it is again innovation at play. This is this kind of innovation which has really led up to the growth of this sector. Often we see, the startup ventures or the small entrepreneurs are all family-run businesses where brand holds a lot of value. And there, if you look at the strengths, the people, the promoters who've been in the business are well versed with every aspect of the business. Yes, even in this era of specialization, we have scenarios where the promoters themselves are well versed and they say we've worked at every level. So there cannot be a better example other than this. So what is core importance is when you talk of sustainability, please hold on to your core values, your core business. That is the real strength. Another example immediately that comes to my mind, a lot of banks are using NBFCs for their collection, as their collection agencies. Because NBFCs have that down-to-earth reach, that kind of personalized touch which they provide to the customers. So in the end, friends, let me just end by saying that yes, small continues to be beautiful. Thank you.